The NHL regular season comes to an end this Thursday, April 16th. But the excitement is just beginning. Because now is the time for our Pub Sports Radio NHL playoff pool. And this year, Salty Pete and the great people at Harper Acres Cottages are adding a $500 salty bonus to our champion. That money does not go into our prize pool. It is a bonus on top of the prize pool sent directly to our winner. It is $100 to sign up. $4 is taken to cover costs. $96 goes into our prize pool. And as always, the top 10% get paid. All you have to do is put together a roster of 20 players from the 16 NHL playoff teams. You get 1 point for a goal, 1 point for an assist, and the capper who accumulates the most points over the Stanley Cup playoffs is our winner. Picks must be in by this Saturday, April 18th. The puck drop to our very first NHL playoff game. Do you have what it takes? The Stanley Cup is up for grabs. The salty bonus is up for grabs. Do you have what it takes to take out last year's champion? Me! Sign up now at pubsportsradio.com and get that cash.
The low baggers, plus the cappers, gamblers and hustlers, we bust on boogies. Death with the bag, let's discuss. It's a must be the low shack, giving you the keys to the money. Jimmy got a mantra, I like making money. Bouquet holds it down, here's to the chat. I'm thinking about leche, tell me where you at. Leche, 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 leche.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, April 17th to all of you. Thank you for watching the Morning Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We're running hot. 17-8 in MLB over the last 2 days. 9-3 yesterday. Could have been 12-1. Could have been 11-1 after the Milwaukee first five push. Lost one game in the top of the ninth, up 3-2. Lost one first five, up 2-0 in the bottom of the fifth. Still thankful, but we must keep stacking. I'm joined alongside, as always, by the backbone of Pub Sports Radio, Mr. Jose Bouquet. Happy Friday to you, Jose. How are you, my friend?
Muted myself. There we go. I'm good. I'm excited to attack the board here today. 2-0 yesterday, so let's keep rolling.
Let's keep rolling. Shout out to all the cappers joining us. Justin McKelvey, Stacks plays today, 1 and 2 in business. We got Los Chudy in the house. Acacia Miss Smokes a lot, ready to get to work. Johnny Guns, and that's an important note that I just, for whatever reason, didn't take in. I think that game is crazy. I can't wait to talk about Angels Padres. I mean, it's insane to me what's going on with the lines, and I've not moved on it. Johnny Guns saying, you forgot one important thing in the Angels game. Padres 7-game win streak switching cities. There's our guy Swiggy in the house. Please sign up for our playoff pool. Philly Eagle Flyers signing up right now. Shout out to Theo Robinson and Ronnie Young who signed up yesterday. We need signups. We had 27 people in it last year at $50 a pop. There were cappers who said it's not enough money for me to invest time in. We made it $100 a pop. We need signups. We need signups, or we just won't be able to keep doing it. So please sign up for the NHL playoff pool. It's a lot of fun. Build your 20-player roster. You don't have to do anything else. You just build your roster and enjoy. So please sign up. It's can you, Jose, can you make that pinned our NHL playoff pool at the top so people can sign up? Razor Sharp picks in the house. Great to see you, Razor. Philly Eagle Fire, sick from the fall. Great to see all of you guys ready to get to work. Kristen Hess in the house. Ronnie Young, there he is. Ronnie Young, who just signed up for yesterday for the NHL playoff pool. Slatsy, Habs plus 1.5 games at -105 versus the Bolts. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I like it. Von Polo says, ready for the horses tomorrow. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to watch Sovereignty. I know. I still want to study it harder because I do have and I'll be at Woodbine for opening day, but I do feel like I do want to really study journalism's ascent. And look, White Barrio outside of Gulfstream, we don't bet. Gulfstream, we bet. Wine Time Sports in the house. Wine Time Sports, our guy Wine Time. Our guy Wine Time here is hosting tonight's show. The nightly bag will be hosted by Wine Time Sports. Shout out to our guy Wine Time in the house. Okay, so I want to talk about the NHL playoffs here really quickly before we get into action. We're going to have to move quickly on today's card. We spent a lot of time capping the games tomorrow, so I feel like I'm ready to rock and be tight, and I'm looking forward to hear Jose's intros. So at this point, I believe that I have the best bet in the NHL playoffs first round by far. I made this a max bet. It's just I think this is now there's a chance that we push the bet, but I think this is absolutely the best bet on the board. You have to use the -1 calculator. You have to have a book that allows you to have alternate lines, which a lot do. But you need the -1 calculator for this. This is, I think, this bet is I like so much that I've hesitated to make any other future bet in the first round. And this bet is Minnesota Dallas over 6 games. Over 6 games. The over 5.5 games -200. Over 6.5 games is +195. I expect it to go 7, but we want to push there for 6. I just think it's absolutely, it's just the best bet. It's such, now look, I mean, even if it's by far to me the best bet on the board, I mean, there's no such thing as locks or guarantees or any of that shit, but it's absolutely incredible bet. It's so amazing to have the push at 6 and the win at 7 at even money. Are you kidding me? So I think it's just absolutely incredible. So incredible that I didn't move on other bets. Then when we go through the series prices, the Hurricanes opened up as a -155 favorite over the Senators, which is insane. The more you dig or pull back some layers, it's just that the books really respect the Ottawa Senators. It's not that they disrespect the Carolina Hurricanes. It has moved 15 cents towards the Hurricanes. To think that the Hurricanes would be a -170 favorite and the Tampa Bay Lightning would be a -245 favorite is unbelievable. The Sabres at -180, that's moving slightly towards the Sabres. I couldn't believe it opened up at -170. I thought they would be bigger favorites than that. And then the Penguins at -155. I do think that the veteran presence and the size will help Pittsburgh. Now, only the size at forward. I mean, they do not have a big defense at all. So I do think that will help them. So at this point, I'll tell you what I'm looking at. And I think that Slatsy's +1.5 is nice on the Habs. But at this point, and I didn't want to press the button. I want to sit with it a little longer. I do think the Sabres and the Hurricanes and the Penguins win their series. Now they're favorites. And I do think that it's possible that one of those 3 get upset. I am looking at Sabres Avalanche. That's at -117. The Hurricanes Avalanche is at -112. And the Penguins Avalanche at -104. The issue then is that you have a lot of money invested in the Avalanche to beat the Kings, which shouldn't be a problem at all. I mean, you could lose McKinnon and win that series. You could lose Makar and win that series. So I'm looking at those 3 spots here. I don't think that the value in the NHL playoffs is necessary in series betting is before the series starts. I think a lot of the value comes after game 1, especially if a team sort of gets upset because the goalie stands on his head. At this point, the only bet I've made is that over 6 games in Dallas, Minnesota. And I honestly, it's as comfortable of a future bet as I can ever remember. Yes, the push is in play, but good God, is that just, it just feels like comfort. And that usually isn't something we associate with sports gambling. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for joining us. We got Just My 2 cents in the house. AM says, I worry that the Wild get bullied by the Stars, but I still think it mostly likely gets to 6. You know, I couldn't believe that I can't bet the Wild. The market has enormous respect for the Wild. It's the Wild are plus 100 to win the series. And then I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll get value. I'll get a chance to bet them on the road in Dallas. They're plus 100 in Dallas. So I was astonished at that line. Astonished. Great to see all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Shout out to Von Polo rocking with us right now. Philly Eagle Flyer. We got ready to go. BT in the house. Slatsy says, what book did you use? I used Bet365. Look, I can't. I like that bet so much that I might not make any other bets, and I max bet it. And I even told TJ that I think I'd like to have more on it. When I have to call in to my local to bet more than the max. But I think I might. Nicholas Handy ready to get to work. Leroy Flood, Johnny K, Dougie Wise, Hornets -2 is the play of the day. Spencer Hughes, great to see you, Spence, my man. Great to have you back in business. San Francisco 49er. Great to see all of you guys. And Razor Sharp picks Vegas first period under and Vegas second period over. We ride. That's going to be a fun series, Mammoth Vegas here. So there we go. Slatsy 45. Slatsy, is he signed up? Tell me he's signed up. Oh, yes, Slatsy's going to be in too. Please sign up, and Swiggy, let us know who signs up so we can celebrate them. Philly Eagle Flyer and Slatsy signing up today. We need signups. There's going to be a big reward at the end. Harbor Acres Cottages adding a $500 bonus, so please sign up. San Francisco 49ers says, anyone like Senators Moneyline? I think they're alive. They're very respected by the books because the Hurricanes were a juggernaut and, not a very big favorite in the series. So that is that. We're coming off a great day in Major League Baseball. We're going to have to work quickly today, but we got Jose on the 1s and 2s. He'll be opening up all of these spots here. We pushed Brewers first 5, cashed Brewers full game, lost Rangers first 5, despite being up 2-0 going into the bottom of the 5th. Cashed Rangers full game, cashed Guardians first 5, cashed Guardians full game, cashed San Francisco Cincinnati under 8.5, cashed San Francisco Cincinnati first 3 under 2.5, cashed Tampa Bay Chicago White Sox first 3 under 2.5, lost Yankees run line, cashed Washington Pittsburgh over 8.5, cashed LA New York over 9.5, and lost the White Sox, who were up 3-2 in the top of the 9th inning. I mean, it's well within the realm of possibilities. We go 11-1, but I'll take that 9-3. Ricky Bobby says, hey, do anybody know who's possible to see who's the bullpen pitchers for the games today? There's many different sites. Some are behind a paywall and some are free. A real easy bullpen usage free site on the day of. You can't, it's a tricky. They want you to pay at RotoWire. But it's just RotoWire. Bullpen usage by team. It's a pretty good one. Jose, who do you use for bullpen usage?
I use Fangraphs, and I go to roster resource. I click the team, and if you scroll down to bullpen, you can see the last 5 days or 6 days of how much they've been used.
Okay, that's great. So, yeah, options here are plenty. Please sign up. I want to be able to do the NHL playoff pool every year. I want to do these contests, and I can only get them done if we get signups. We have a $500 bonus from Harbor Acres Cottages, and if there's not enough people in the pool, we won't go through with it. I don't want Harbor Acres Cottages to put in their hard-earned money if we don't have enough people supporting the pool. So we need signups. We have about 30 hours before puck drop, 28 hours before puck drop of the first playoff game. And, we don't ask for anything here. We don't sell anything to you guys. We just want to win together. But I want to do these pools so badly. I have so much fun with the pools. I love competing with my friends and colleagues. So if you can, please sign up for the NHL hockey pool. It would mean a lot to me. And I would be very, very grateful. Jose, my friend, let's get to work. Take it away. I have 10 bets on Major League Baseball here. We're 17-8 over the last 2 days. We got out the season to a bad start. We need to climb out of this. We need to fix this. Let's rock.
Yep, let's start with a quick one from me here. Mets, Cubs here. I've got no action on the game. We've got Edward Cabrera versus Kodai Senga, which makes it more interesting. Both pitchers we've capped throughout the years. This line opened up minus 130. It is now minus 143 for the Cubs here. 57% of the bets and 54% of the money on the Cubs.
I was a little surprised. With the weak Mets offense that, and I understand, this line here has been moving towards the Cubs. Had been moving towards the Cubs. We just got 10 cents of buyback at Bet365, which is a bit of a surprise here. I wonder if we got buyback everywhere. We didn't. I'm not sure. So 365 has just come from minus 150 to minus 140 on the money line. From a total side of things here, we got that 10.5. It's juiced to the over. We talked about the very nice conditions for offense at Wrigley today. It's plus 14% runs, plus 35% homers, minus 5% doubles and triples, and minus 1% singles. If we go to weather only, it's plus 20% runs, plus 37% homers, plus 5% doubles and triples, and plus 2% singles. Look, I think the Mets should be faded at every opportunity. What surprised me in this one, Jose, was that the full game was minus 140. So an hour ago, 2 hours ago, it was minus 150 for the Cubs full game at 365 and minus 140 on the first five. I don't think Senga is an advantage over Edwin Cabrera, so that caught me by surprise. Now it's minus 140 full game for the Cubs at 365, minus 135 for the first five. So this is not a double up spot here, which I thought it might be because I want to fade the Mets. So it's just the Cubs for me. It's just the Cubs. Cubbies full game. I got the full game at minus 134. I had thought about taking the minus one line. I want to stop. I want to stop taking minus one lines if it's under minus 140 or under. I think if my unit size was not 250, which is right now in MLB, it will get to 300. I've gotten hot over the last couple of days, but it will get up to 300 if I start rolling. But if my unit size was 500, then I wouldn't. I would take the minus 138, minus 137 all day. I wouldn't take the minus one. And I need to think like that if I want my unit size to go up. So for me, Jose, where we get started is the Cubs. Swaggy says I wouldn't fade Senga in this spot. I think Senga can bounce back after that terrible start against the A's. I don't think that. I think that's well within reason. I just think that we've seen Edwin Cabrera at home twice, and he needs to bounce back. He had a run-suppressing situation here in the last start, and he only went 5 innings, and he allowed 8 hits and 3 earned runs. His first start at home versus the Angels, he was excellent. 6 innings, 1 hit, didn't allow a run. So I think both bounce back. And the Cubs and Mets have been bad baseball teams. I mean, the Mets have had 4 save opportunities and converted 2 of them. The Cubs have only had 5. So here I am. I'm on the Chicago Cubs full game, simple, money line, expensive. It feels like with this late move sort of back to the Mets that there's a lot of people backing the Mets. I mean, 42% of the tickets and 46% of the cash is a bit of a surprise. Circa with the minus 139, opened up at minus 138. Initially, they had more cash coming in on the Mets. It's flipped, but slightly towards the Cubs. So I'm on the Cubs. I'm fading the Mets here. Billy says, doesn't the total for this game point to the Mets, or at least the Mets scoring some runs? Oh, it certainly points to the Mets scoring some runs with the offensive weather. But at this point, we have a Mets team without Soto hitting 224 and 609 OPS versus righties. If the weather is going to support offense, well, the Cubs have a better offense than the Mets without Soto in the lineup. Simply put, if you think that Cabrera and Kodai Senga are a wash. So, and shout out to Spencer Hughes, just signed up for the NHL pool. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, my man. That's great. That is great. And AM says, I don't think this weather is all that offensive, says it's a tricky game. And Rochester Johnny says a lot of sports gamblers are Mets fans. They should have 3% of the tickets. I think that's fair. It's not the same as the Yankee stacks, but okay, Jose. So I'm on the Cubs. Let's roll on, my man.
Let's roll on to Orioles Guardians. We all watched Parker Messick almost no-hit the Orioles yesterday.
After all the wonderful things I said about him.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be on the Baltimore Orioles today, but when I looked at the splits, I was incorrect. 66% of the bets, 69% of the money on the Guardians here. Line has trickled towards them here. I'm going to quickly refresh accurate lines here. Minus 130 opener, minus 135 now at Bet Online, minus 133 at Bovada, which opened up at minus 138. I mean, I lean Orioles as well. 75% of the bets are on the under and 89% of the money on the over in this game. This line has not moved really at all. I leaned over in this game thinking that maybe the Orioles lineup could get back going. Bassett, I think is right there with you. I think he's on the back half of his career, and I don't believe in him here. So I leaned over and I leaned Orioles, but I didn't have anything to do with it. Didn't feel confident about anything, so I stayed off.
I did move on this game, and I know what the situation is. Just before we talk about Orioles Guardians, it's Friday. We need to get this weekend set up with winners. We need to have this weekend full of, bouncing off walls, succeeding with our action, feeling good about ourselves. Let's get Friday started with Stack's play of the day. It is the over 10.5 in Mets Cubs. Let's see this cash flow on the screen, and let's bring it into our bankrolls.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
So I'm with my man Curtis Berry on this one. I'm on Cleveland. The feeling initially when I moved on it, TJ was saying that it's too expensive. It's too expensive. And that made me very scared immediately because he said the same thing about Phillies Cubs, and the Phillies were too expensive at minus 132. He said you're going to lose long-term betting it, and they lost 11-1. And so I obviously I reacted to that. And then secondly, I have a bias because I told you guys, Parker Messick. The changeup is heavenly, and then I catch first half full game on the Guardians, and so I want to go back to them. I know my subconscious is saying go back to the Guardians, and then I tell my subconscious shut the fuck up. We have Tanner Bybee. This is the thought for me, is that I just like Bybee coming back home here. I really do. He's had one start at home this year. He allowed one earned run. Now, he only made it through 4 2/3. He hasn't been going deep in the game so far this year. We know that he does pitch well at home, and he's coming off a terrible start. So that's what appealed to me first and foremost, was that Bybee's going to bounce back here. Bybee's going to bounce back. So, I also was interested in the under. TJ's moved on the over. This was discussed, last night. And right now, Ballpark Pal for Progressive Field has minus 6% runs, minus 10% homers, minus 4% doubles and triples, and minus 3% singles. And, both of these offenses are, not quite clicking right now. Bassett, I kind of liked his last start, but again, that was at home in Baltimore. We've only seen him on the road once this year, and he got touched up 6 earned runs in 2 innings at the Pirates. So the thing is, I expect Bybee to bounce back, but 66 and 69 on the Guardians. It's just been sitting here at minus 138. So I can say, look, it's expensive. It's expensive. But, and Kristen has just signed up for the NHL pool. Thank you, Kristen. Oh, nice. We just had a female capper win the bracket contest. We love capping with you guys. So let's make it 2 straight contests that women win. Kristen has. Go get it. Go get it. Actually, women came first and second in our bracket contest. So it's dope. Matty Ice says Gunner has great numbers versus Bybee. So with this all said and done. Oh, shout out Billy Friedrich just signed up for the pool. I missed that. Nice. Billy Friedrich's in. Thank you guys, man. Heartbreakers Cottage is dropping $500 bonus on us. So this means a ton to me. So thank you, Billy Friedrich, my man. Thank you, Kristen. So back here, I'm a little nervous because I understand why I was pushed to betting it. I think it might be a little too expensive. You want this line to move. This total has not moved at all. And, the minus 135 right now, Open up minus 130. I guess I'm okay with it. I guess. Nicholas Handy says the Orioles wake up today. I don't doubt that they can wake up. I do think that. I think the whole thing for me is Bobby bounces back. Bobby bounces back. That's it. Bobby bounces back. I'm on the Cleveland Guardians. Jose, let's roll on.
We roll to Braves Phillies next on our board here. We have Martin Perez, Taijuan Walker here. Not a pitching matchup that will get the blood flow going, but minus 120 opener at BetOnline is now minus 111 there. Movement towards the Phils here. Bovada showing a minus 113. They opened up at there, and minus 115 is where it's at now. Heritage, I'll use Bookmaker because Bookmaker, Bookmaker interestingly open this up at minus 113 Philly. So, and they're the only book that do so. So I'll just leave them off to the side.
Sure.
And mention that Heritage opened up at minus 117 Atlanta, now down to minus 115 Atlanta. So slight movements going down towards the Philadelphia Phillies here. We have, and by the way, market-wise, 53% of the bets and 65% of the money on Atlanta.
Philly Eagle Flyer on the Braves and the over 8.5 with a boost of plus 220. Stacks play today. Number 2 here is the over in this one. Justin McKelvey says, go Braves, smack Phillies. This line has just, it's been insane to me. And I guess the thought process, because I like Martin Perez, I think that don't use the eye test on Martin Perez because he looks hittable. But Taijuan Walker, the only explanation I have is that Taijuan Walker has gotten better in every start. And, this guy wasn't part of the starting rotation most of last year. So the first start, 6 earned runs over 4 2/3 at home versus Nationals. Second start, 4 earned runs, 3 jacks in 5 innings at the Rockies. And then Saturday, April 11th, he has his best start at home over Arizona. And shout out to Kristen Hess. Look at that. Not only joining our hockey pool, but blessing our action with a $20 dono. God, we are very fortunate to cap with you, Kristen. Thank you for the support, man. It means so much, Kristen. It means so much. So thank you, Kristen. Part of our hockey pool, blessing our action. Shout out to our friend Kristen Hess. Man, I love it. We are lucky. We are lucky to cap with your positive energy, whether it's Medicate Monday, walk-off wagers, betting the diamond. She has our back, and it means a ton. Matty Ice says Braves are smashing righties this year. 275, 783 OPS. This makes no sense to me. Phillies aren't hitting lefties at all. 178, 560. It just doesn't make sense to me. Braves have a bullpen advantage. So why did this line start moving towards Walker? And then you have Curtis Berry on Philadelphia. Now, BetOnline opened up the Braves at minus 120, and immediately, well, not immediately, but let's say over the course of 4 hours, it's got down to a minus 105. It's back at minus 111 here. I just feel so uncomfortable going up against this line move. I mean, you have the Braves at 12-7. The Phillies are 2 games under 500. It just doesn't make sense. Does this make sense to you, Jose? I mean, yes, Phillies are 5-7 at home and don't look that good, but can you make sense of this line move towards Taijuan Walker when, we have seen Martin Perez look very good? Now, one of the issues here, which kind of did give me pause, is he's only had 1 road start. And I was at the Diamondbacks, and he got touched there. He looked great in both home starts. Justin McKelvey says free bet would be on the Phillies money line here. Billy Frieder says he's impressed with Martin Perez after the past 2 seasons. So am I. So, Jose, does this make sense to you? Because if it doesn't make sense, I kind of veer away from betting it.
Yeah, it's a tough game. It's just both of these pitchers are kind of the same to me. I know Martin's been pitching well recently, but there's obviously like a fool's gold aspect to it. Like we all know it's not going to be sunshines and rainbows for his whole season. And I think the Phillies are a better team than the Braves, but it's a tough game. I thought both these pitchers, you could get 6 shutout from either one, or you could get 2 innings, 5 earned runs from either one. And it just depends on them, how they're feeling when they wake up today.
They're also saying that there's no difference for 5 full game at Penny. It's minus 107 each way. I want the Braves, but feels like I'm about to be jumped.
By the way, the Phillies bullpen best ERA in baseball so far. 2.69, FIP 2.81, which is good. Or excuse me, their expected ERA is 2.69.
Yeah.
Their actual ERA is 4.66. So I obviously expect that bullpen to get better as well. I know that numbers are bad right now, but I expect them to get better. Atlanta 3.06, xERA 3.37. So both good.
And they have not blown a save, unlike so many teams. 6 for 6. Phillies are 5 for 6. Yeah, and razor sharp picks. See, there you go. There you go. I've got to stay off. I can't back Taiwan Walker, but there you go. Razor sharp picks. He says, at first glance, you have to look at the Braves, but not so fast. Gambler's first glance, the Philadelphia Phillies. The triple glance there. Love my man Razor. Can't believe how close we are to Super Saturday, the first Saturday of May, the run for the Roses. Billy Friedrich Braves first 5 money line. I wish there was a 10-cent difference. If it was minus 107 for the Braves full game, but minus 118 or 19 first 5, I'd be on too. I'm off. I'm off. Good luck to everyone who's on this game. Let's roll on.
Pirates Rays next on our board here.
And let me also, with this, Jose, I told you this was going to come back. It just moved too far towards Bubba Chandler. Again, I'm still uncomfortable going up against that first move, but we talked about it last night. I was like, this is going to come back. It's just gone too far. Jose, take it away, my man.
77% of the bets and 84% of the money on the Tampa Bay Rays here, who have Nick Martinez going for them against the Allegheny Electric Factory. That is Bubba Chandler there. Minus 118, like you mentioned, that's what it opened up at. It got up to minus 142. We talked about that, and now it is down to minus 126 in this game here. Total went up a half run, which is very interesting with both of these pitchers. 8 is now an 8.5 here, Jimmy. There are 63% of the bets on the under, 88% of the money on the under, and like I said, 77% of the bets and 84% of the money on Tampa Bay.
I am surprised that the cash is all on the Rays. I guess we're at another situation that makes me uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with this huge line to Bubba Chandler, this huge move. I mean, we got it past minus 140. He's had back-to-back starts that were, full of struggle. We know he's going to, very high ceiling. Nick Martinez is playing like he wants to extend his career. The Rays have given him an opportunity to start every 5 days, something that the Reds wouldn't do. And he has showed out. 2 earned runs in that first start, March 30th, 6 innings at the Braves. 1 earned run, April 5th at the Twins. Saturday, April 11th, 1 earned run over 4 2/3 at home versus the Yankees. It's amazing that 77% of the tickets, 84% of cash would be on the Rays when this line opens up and it moves 30 cents towards the Pirates. AM says Pirates have advantages everywhere here. Spooner's on the Rays as well. Troy saying that Chandler's got this 20% walk rate. Shout out to Troy Torrance, man. Hope you guys are watching the closing line on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Troy brought out all his spreadsheets with the graphics. It's entertaining and educational.
Get a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's great. Like I really feel like this change of schedule has been tricky for a lot of us, but our capping is going to elevate with all of this, the 10, 5, 10, and Troy, a big part of it. Manny, I says, Jimmy, how about Horwitz for Pittsburgh? 7 for 7 versus Martinez. Quality at bats, 44% hard hit rate. Those are unreal numbers in that sample size. Curtis Berry says at some point in time, I think Pirates regress. I think they're pretty good, just not good enough to maintain their current price. With Nasty Nate with the Cubs plus 2.5 and over 8.5 parlay. TC says Rays pretty good on the road this season, just like last year. 7 and 5 on the road. Pirates 6 and 4 at home. Look,
I bet, yeah.
What were you saying?
I would say they're just in a minor league stadium. Of course, they're going to be good on the road. They actually, feel more comfortable. That makes sense. Doesn't matter how long they've been there, right?
Yeah, they have an advantage of the Trop. The Trop's a tricky place to play.
Stadium, like fans wise, yeah. I think other people hate playing there, but I think they probably feel more comfortable in other places. Just amenities wise, I understand. Obviously, the fans are great for them now.
Swaggy says, I think Griffin gets his first homer day. He had one off the wall a couple games ago. And Rob McMahon in the house, great to see you. Billy Frieder says, raise at plus money is a must bet for him. Troy says, Martinez always pitches above expectation. I'm going to have to stay off of this spot here. I will tell you guys that PNC Park plus 2% runs, minus 16% homers, plus 16% doubles and triples, plus 1% singles. And shout out to Michael Duggan. Thank you, Michael. Just signed up for the NHL pool. Here we go, guys. I was nervous that we just weren't getting enough signups, and this is great. Thank you, guys. Let's fill it up. It means a lot to me. So thank you, guys. It's so much fun to have this pool going on over the playoffs. So thank you for signing up, Michael. Thank you to all of you guys for being a part of it. Spoon says, I see 48% of tickets and 62% of the cash on the Pirates. Get over there.
Where do you see that, Spoons?
Yeah, I'd love to that, but I mean that would make some sense. But yeah, I'd love to hear that.
My assumption would be action.
No, yeah, I don't think he uses action. I think he's probably focusing on. I don't know. Let's hear from him. I don't think Spoons uses action. Okay, and Robert Francis says Martinez being lights out. A changeup is nasty, 14 miles per hour lower than his fastball. Action has 48% of the bets and 27% of the cash on the Pirates, right?
I remember now what Spoon uses. I remember now, actually.
Okay, look. Go get it. I've got 10 bets that I'm locked in on. John Bennett says, call me crazy. I'm on the Mets today. You know, John, the line's coming back to the Mets, so the books aren't saying you're crazy. Thank you, Troy. Let's roll on, Jose. I'm going to have to stay off this one. I wanted to be off of it anyways. Let's move on. I know.
Yeah, let's move on to our next one. Giants Nationals here. We've got, let's scroll and find this here. We've got 60% of the bets and 95% of the money on Logan Webb here. 81% of the money and 85% of the bets on the over in this game. We all know Jimmy loves himself some Zach Littell here. And for as much bets and money that are on the Giants here, I don't think this line's moved enough personally for me. Minus 143 at Bet Online is now minus 150 there. Bovada is now was minus 157, is now minus 160. And we'll use again Heritage here. Minus 156 is where it sits at now, and that's what it opened up at. So yeah, I mean, personally, just based off the market, I definitely lean towards the Washington Nationals, at least maybe first five, because we talked about how shit their bullpen is.
Yeah, this line's moved against me. I don't like it. God. Now, I knew I probably should have waited here. Yeah, we're going chronologically, Troy, my man. So yes, it's a fun cap, but yes. I'm on the TJ special. I'm on Zach Littell, first 5 plus a half. It felt like the line was moving in my direction. I should feel very good about myself. Then that stopped. It's funny. And then the first 5 was actually juiced towards Littell. And that made sense to me. Now, of course, I thought that was partially because of how bad the bullpen is, not just because, we were in business here up against Logan Webb. I'm a huge Logan Webb fan too. I like both these guys a lot. And Logan Webb thus far just doesn't seem locked in. He had 7 strikeouts in that first start, but he allowed 6 earned runs in that one. In the last 3 starts now, we've gone 19 innings, and he has 14 strikeouts. In those 19 innings, he's also walked 8 batters, a 14-8 K to walk ratio. And, last year he had 224 Ks over 207 innings, with only 46 walks. It just doesn't feel like he's as locked in. Wine Time says 95% of the cash on the Giants, and the line isn't moving to the Giants like it should. I like Zach Littell. I don't want to get too caught up in his one home start, as last year he was with the Rays and he was with the Reds at the trade deadline, and now he's here with the Nats. And it's not like I'm not saying this guy is bet on at home. He's comfortable at home. How do we know? He's had one start at home in this new home. But the Giants aren't hitting righties. 222, 594. I leave the Nats bullpen out of it. So I'm on the Nats first 5+ a half. This line's gone against me in a pretty big way, man. I bet this first 5+ a half -115. It's now -101. It makes me very, very uncomfortable. But the mistake was betting it when I did. I don't necessarily think the mistake is with the cap. So very quickly on the weather here for...
So you said you got -101. It's +115 now?
No, I got -115. It's -101 now.
Oh, okay.
Plus 1% runs, -10%. That's a huge move on the first 5.
Yeah. That's weird.
Like that makes me very uncomfortable.
Especially it's +0.5 too. If it was money line, it'd be like, but yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, it's plus 1% runs, -10% homers, plus 8% doubles and triples, and plus 5% singles. Shout out to our guy, Your Mailman Bets. Man, I like capping with this guy. Hope you're having a great day. Great start to the weekend, my man. Thank you for rocking with us. Los Trudy says over. Troy Torrance says, unless this line closes with a 10-cent move towards San Francisco Giants, he sees the value on the Nats. I'm on the Nats first 5+ a half. The Giants bullpen has looked pretty okay. 3.90 ERA, 1.36 whip. They've only had 5 save opportunities, converted 3 of 5. In comparison, Nats have had 12 save opportunities. I'm on the first 5+ a half. I'd be sitting here very confident if that line hadn't moved. But I timed it wrong. Jose, I'm good. Nats first 5+ a half for me. And Jim Dewigger is into the playoff pool as well. Jim Dewigger, I can't wait to see your Buffalo Sabres laden team. I mean, why wouldn't you be adding your Sabres, man? What a fun spring that's possibly in line for the Buffalo Sabres. And I see a lot of people who think the Bruins are going to knock them out in the first round, and I don't. Jose, let's roll on. Thank you, Jim.
The Bruins suck balls this year.
I don't think they suck balls. They're very good at home, very bad on the road. They have young players like Minton, who's going to be very good. They're moving in the right direction. I don't think they're sucking balls personally. And Goon's on the Bruins.
I just don't like Jeremy Swayman. That's it. But Yankees.
Wait, just a sec. Just before we do this, Jose, Troy says, shouldn't we be betting the under in Nats Giants? Again, the bullpen is a giant, or no pun intended, is a big concern. But, this, for me, I like other people can get in the way of these line moves. I can't. Open up at 7.5 -120, now up to 8 -116. I respect it. Wine Time says Giants team total under, yes. And Miss Smokeslot is going to be on it. And AM says Giants are going to put up runs. Jose, let's roll.
All right, Yankees or Orioles. Yankees Royals is our next game here. We've got Michael Wacha versus Cam Schittler. 66% of the money on the shit man, but 88% of the 60% of the bets on the Schittler, 88% of the money on Kansas City. 90% of the bets, 88% of the money on the under. So obviously all the big bettors out there expecting this to be a low scoring game. Funny enough, Bovada opened this up at 8.5, got down to an 8 at one point and just put it right back in an 8.5, juice to the under. Everywhere else showing 8s, which is interesting. As for the money line here, -171 is now -180 for Michael Wacha and the boys. But I guess Cam Schittler.
It actually just moved back. So if you refresh, there's just been about 24 minutes ago, there was a 7-cent move towards the Royals and 8-cent move away from the Yankees.
Yep, there you go. So -171 is now -172 at Bet Online. I still think, I guess I should say, this is a pretty short line. I mean, the Yankees are always like -200 at home at least, especially against teams that aren't powerhouses. They can't hit with them. And they've got, coming into the season, or at least after the first 2 starts, they'd say, oh, this is the second best pitcher on the staff. This is the best pitcher on the staff. So I lean Royals here for sure with you. I don't know if I'll move on it, but I think that there's some value in the Royals here for sure. And just to echo one more time, 66% of the bets on the Yankees, 88% of the money on the Royals.
Yeah, it doesn't. I wanted to be on the Royals first 3 and plus a half and first 5 plus a half. I tried to get somebody to talk me off of it last night on the show. Nobody could, and nobody really wanted to. Yankee Stadium is minus 7% runs, minus 2% homers, minus 10% doubles and triples, and minus 6% singles. I don't shouldn't the advantage be with the Royals early? And the Yankees are even more expensive first 5. And then you could say, well, look, it's Cam Schlittler. Who cares that his last 2 starts were very ordinary? He was unbelievable in the playoffs last year, and he started the season going 2 starts with 11 2/3 and allowing 3 hits, didn't walk a batter, struck out 15, didn't allow a run. Spencer Hughes is on the under 8, minus 105 here. I wanted that, but I was hesitant with these 2 bullpens as well that, added to hesitancy. I want to trust myself and take Walker first 3 or first 5 plus a half, but what's holding me back right now is the sentiment that they're trash because they cost people and they cost me money. I got the money back on the over, but I did lose some vig. We have a Yankees bullpen that should be fine. Bednar good to go, Doval, Hedrick. Only Yarbrough, Cruz, Chavili went yesterday. Troy's, so these guys, people are losing money on the Yankees, so they're veering away from the Yankees. Spooner's on the Yankees minus 1, and all you hear is negative stuff about the Yankees here right now. So what do you think, Jose? I've wanted to press the button on Royals. Now, I'm certainly not going to be on first 3 plus half and first 5 plus half, and the first 3 plus half is too expensive. But the Yankees are more expensive first 5 than they are full game. What do you think about? I want to bet. Walker's been spectacular this year. Now if you count the 3 starts for Walker, the 4 starts for Schlittler, Walker's been better. And what do you think about backing Walker first 5 plus a half?
I haven't gotten there myself, but it's been the closest I've been to moving on a game. Betting the Royals here. I always, you guys all know, I guess I have an anti-Yankees sentiment always, so I always have to try to battle myself with that. But my personal bet would be Royals full game.
We have 90. So, it just changed. No. The 93% of the tickets and 88% cash on the under. It did go from 8.5 to an 8. Since it moved to 8, there's been a 5-cent move to the over.
Yeah, that made me want to bet the over, admittedly. But
let's talk about the first 3. Why did it make you want to bet the over? Oh, because of how much money was on the under.
Yeah, all that money on the under, and it just hasn't moved. And I think the Royals bullpen is going to have some positive regression. xERA again here, 3.94, which isn't great. It's 11th in the league, so that's pretty good. But their regular ERA is almost a 6 right now. So I expect some positive regression. By the way, that 6 ERA is second worst in the league. FIP-wise, by the way, they have a 5.81 or 5.18, so it's not even that much better. Expected FIP 4.68. So I think there's going to be some positive regression for the Royals bullpen as well, but I just couldn't get there with the under, with all that money on the under, and books seemingly not really caring.
They did move from 8.5 to 8, and I think it's the Royals bullpen that would be the stumbling block. The first 3 under 2.5 is juiced to the under at minus 125, minus 115 to the over. Maybe that's it. We had Paul T. We had different, Yankee cappers. Robert Cherry just completely disillusioned by the Yankees, saying take the Royals. Paul T. saying the Yankees beat the Royals over and over and over again. He said that if you want to move on anything supporting Walker in this game, it would be on the under. Yankee JJ saying that the Yankees bullpen is so ass. Well, I'm interested now in the first 3 under 2.5. Would you say the first 3 under 2.5 is more appealing than the first 5 plus a half?
No. Personally, I'd like the first 5 plus a half better.
God. Troy says this game profile is so close to break even, very easy pass. So I'm going to need time.
That's a pass game for me with all the back and forth, personally.
But I want. You know what? Let's let this market marinate longer. Let's make it marinate longer here. So before we move on to the next game, shout out to our guy Big Show Picks in the house. He's put the link up to Pub Culture TV. Please hit this link and support us over at Pub Culture TV, because that's where all our live streams are going to be as we move forward. So our Thoroughbred live streams, our NFL live streams, our UFC live streams. We have UFC Winnipeg on Saturday night. The guys do such a great job there. Also, of course, the sesh is over there now as well. And other shows are going to be over there. Our live poker games are going to be over there. So it would do us a big favor if you could hit that link and become or just subscribe to Pub Culture TV. It'd mean a ton to us. Swaggy says UFC Winnipeg, let's go. Shout out to Mallet, man. One brother, UFC fighter, one brother, defenseman for the Kings. I mean, come on, what a family. How do you not cheer for that guy? So please hit that link. Thank you for putting it there, Big Show. That's great move there. And AM says both pitchers have reverse splits. Schindler has a strong fly ball profile. I think the Royals struggled to put up runs. Probably tough scoring for both. Okay, there's only 2 games that I'm really interested in adding to my card. I like my card. We're 17-8 over the last 2 days. Jose, we've had 2 straight winning days, and we need a third. Could you please put up the inspiration? What the hell is that? Who the hell is that guy?
That's you.
Who the hell is that guy?
What are you talking about?
Oh man, that guy's getting robbed. He's getting robbed and killed. I don't think this guy makes it to his next spot. This guy's getting dumped in a ditch with no clothes on, everything taken from him. That guy's getting robbed. That first car that picks him up is robbing him. That guy's not going to live much longer. So enjoy him now.
Freakishly long fingers, I'll tell you that.
Oh, the guy looks like oh man, I would hurt. You only let him into your car if you're going to rob him. That's it. Okay, let's roll on.
All right, let's roll on. Indeed, here we've got Brewers.
We need a new one. If I make it 3 days in a row, I do not want to see that guy ever again.
Well,
I like the one of you with that little stick in the bag. What happened to that one?
I have to. Well, a lot of things get deleted in the shuffle here, so we have to find it again. I'll tell you that. But
that guy's getting robbed.
Well,
likely killed.
We know you didn't get robbed in San Antonio. Your car we can't talk about, but you walked around in San Antonio, good to go. Money back, money just overflowing out of his pockets, and he was fine.
Very fortunate.
It was fine. All right, Marlins, Brewers here. Jansen Junk. Everyone knows I am a Jansen Junk believer. However, I don't have a pitcher listed yet, Jimmy. I don't know about you.
No, but I don't care.
Yeah, I was going to say I believe in Jansen Junk here, and I was going to move on him, but I just don't have a line to back my guy here. I've been a junk guy since last year. Whenever I think of Jansen Junk, I think about There Will Be Blood and being an oil man. But I'm a junk man, and I'll be there with him through the end. Shout out to Driveline Baseball is why I believe in him. Driveline really changed his stuff, made him disgusting. 75% of the bets, 90% of the money on the Brewer pitcherless pitcher here. Line really has not moved. -109 opener is still there now at BOL.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity to back Jansen Junk here. I got the Marlins at -112. I would like to see this line move towards the Marlins. Maybe books are just holding out. Maybe there's still limits with it all at this point. And, this Brewers bullpen, although we have respect for them and expect what's their xERA? So right now, and I'm going to start adding these things as well. But right now, the Brewers have a 4 ERA, a 1.47 WHIP, and only converted 6 of 9 save opportunities. What is their xERA?
Bullpen wise, they are. I've got to scroll here. ERA is a 4, xERA is a 4.46, FIP a 3.5 though. So maybe a little lucky. This bullpen has been.
So now Matty I says Brewer smashing righties, tread lightly. I'm not sure if Jansen Junk is elite, where like Parker Messick's been going up against teams that smash lefties and it doesn't matter. And it's been working for me, not putting too much emphasis on the splits at this point. But who are the Brewers going to use? It's not as if, this bullpen is ready and relaxed.
Saw someone, and I think that was actually for the Astros game. I thought I saw Ryan Weiss in the chat last night, but that might have been Astros. I can't remember now.
Sorry, keep going.
I saw someone was getting called up from Nashville, and I think that's their AAA affiliate.
Trevor Megal is being booed every time he steps on the bump. Booed.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, booed. And the Toronto guys are like, they shouldn't be booing him. And, Barker's like, of course they should be. Boo. You paid your ticket. Do whatever you please. Like, God, it takes athletes to know that, look, they paid for a ticket. Let them do whatever they want. We're lucky they paid for a ticket. And they shouldn't be booing. And the Blue Jays fans wouldn't do that. Megal pitched yesterday. Ashby's pitched on back-to-back days. Zerpa pitched yesterday, but should be good to go again. But this bullpen sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. We know it's going to move forward.
By the way, Winetime wants to establish himself as a what's his brother's name? Tylor instead of Trevor. I was thinking of Tyler and Rogers there for a second. He's established him. Tylor Miguel is his guy.
Yeah, he says Trevor's a weird fucking dude, like weird. And when someone says that to you, when someone says he's a weird dude, man, weird, you don't ask.
Yeah, that's true. Bullpen guys are always weird too.
They don't ask. When they use when we use a weird the second time, you don't ask.
I have a same guy that I'm thinking of about that, and I once looked over at his computer during class, and he had porn games bookmarked on his computer. I was like, all right, maybe he is this weird. Yeah, so you know what? Wine time, you're right.
Weird dude. Don't ask.
Yeah.
Look, I wanted to watch Kyle Harrison pitch in this game. I wanted Harrison versus Jung. I'm on the Marlins. I got minus 112. You get minus 109. Matty Ice says this is an over spot. That might be the way to handle this, honestly, because we don't have faith in this bullpen. Now, I'm sure we have lack of movement just because. Oh shit, we're going long. Damn it. Okay, I think we've had lack of movement because we don't have. Oh no, it's moved to the under. That's interesting with the switch from Harrison. I'll keep an eye on it. But Marlins for me minus 112. Jansen Junk to the window, to the wall, to the sweat drip down my balls. Let's roll on.
Shout out to Junk. Next, we have Red Sox Tigers here. And I saw Troy Torrance say that he is backing the Red Sox today, I believe. Shout out to you, Troy. 56% of the bets, 84% of the money on the Boston Red Sox. Ranger Suarez, who finally decided to show up to the baseball season last start out. He had a good start, finally his first of the season. And now we're going up against Casey Mize and the Detroit Tigers. And Jimmy, this line has moved pretty drastically towards the Tigers at Bet Online. Minus 127, got up to minus 130, is now minus 120 Red Sox here. At Bovada, it hasn't. Minus 132 Red Sox is now minus 135 Red Sox. Heritage is at minus 133 opener, is now minus 129 here. My issue with this line is, why did it open minus 130 to the Red Sox here? Truthfully, I thought this was going to be minus 110 each way. Maybe Ranger Suarez and the home field advantage are getting it a little bit of a boost. But, this is a Tigers team everyone thought was going to go out there and win the division this year. So I thought minus 110 each way. Personally, the fact that it was minus 130 to the Red Sox gave me a little hope as a Red Sox fan that we see a good performance from them here. No action for me so far, but our guy Troy Torrance on the Red Sox minus 120. He said he's hoping to add more at minus 110 or even minus 115. Don't care about the line moves. He actually loves the line move here. Matty Ice thinks the Rangers shoves here against his Tigers. Leroy Flood, Tigers money line. I think this opener, like I said, this opener made me feel like it was a Red Sox day. But what do you think, Jimmy?
Oh, it scared me. I thought look, I'm on the under 8.5 at minus 120. After the show, like I told you, I added the first. Now there's 7.5 on the board now. I added the first 3 under 2.5, and that first 3 is at this number that's just been cashing over and over again. The first 3 unders have not been done well so far, but for whatever reason, and I think we can explain the reason. the first 3 under 2.5s at minus 135 have all been cashing. And this was a first 3 under 2.5 at minus 135. It still is. And it's the first 3 under 2.5 at minus 135 been cashing, even if it doesn't move to minus 150. If it does move to minus 150, it's been cashing. So the weather's not that run suppressed. Like it is run suppressing, but it's not quite as bad. It seems seemingly getting better every time you refresh. Minus 8% runs, minus 22% homers, plus 3% doubles and triples, and plus 3% singles. The idea here is that, like you guys are saying, that I think Suarez does shove. I think he does shove. The Tigers aren't hitting lefties at all. 213, 596 OPS. I'm comfortable not. I think Casey Mize is a hell of a pitcher. So I've invested in this game. I'm comfortable investing in this game. I'm surprised that this has moved back towards the Tigers, but that's fine. I don't need to get involved in this. I don't need to get involved in the side. I've invested in the unders, comfortable with my position, and going to move forward. And Rod's Wacky in the house says, bet under the total in Casey Mize starts in April games. The unders record in his career is 16-3. Ooh, I love when
by the way, I anticipate the Red Sox being, if not the best, the top 5 under team in baseball. Their offense is terrible. They play in an offensive-friendly park. Their pitching is good. Their bullpen is good. It's going to be unders all year for the Red Sox. Their offense sucks. There's not going to be a fucking thing they can do about it until the trade deadline.
And it fits another one of Rod's angles. 8 of Red Sox last 9 games, his home favorites have gone under the total.
That makes sense.
Troy says Spade Tigers off a 6-game win streak and 6-game win streak in switching cities. I've got my investment in. If this line had stayed moving towards Suarez, I would have been more comfortable. But according to the market efficiency database, it doesn't have to. I'm fine. I've invested. Let's roll on.
Yeah, I'll probably be on the Red Sox myself. I'll make it official at the end of the program. Reds, Twins. Next on our board here, we've got Williamson versus my guy Joe Ryan. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Seeing the Twins at a minus 170, minus 180 price is kind of a shock, even with my guy Joe Ryan. But the Twins have been playing good. So I have to tip my hat there. But I expect we don't probably see them as big of a favorite all year as today. It's minus 160, 61% of the bets on the Minnesota Twins, 65% of the money on Brandon Williamson, and the Twins 88 and 88 on the overs here. Out of curiosity, how are the Twins hitting against lefties this month? So far, they are 6th best, 120 weighted runs created plus. They've also had by far the most attempts at hitting lefties this month, 277 plate appearances against lefties here. Now I will mention this. That number is inflated because in that number, they destroy Garrett Crochet, who I will be convinced he was tipping. He was tipping, and for whatever reason, all of his stuff was down that day. So I think that is an outlier performance there. Other lefties that they've faced, Connolly Early shoved it up their ass, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. Crochet, who we talked about. Eric Lauer, 5 1/3, 7 earned runs. I mean, Eric Lauer is a 6-man kind of swing guy. I like him, but he's not that good. Corbin, who shoved last night, but we all know what he is. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. Impressive hitting Framber Valdez when he's been pitching well. 5 innings, 10 hits, 8 earned runs. And Tarek Skubal, 4 2/3, 8 hits, 4 earned runs. Impressive. Last two were at home there. By the way, they've lost all of these games that I just referred to there. The Tigers game, the Framber Valdez start, the Eric Lauer start. Lost all of those games, apparently. Or excuse me, that's the pitching decision there I'm actually looking at. The pitcher lost all those games. I apologize there. I was like, this doesn't make any sense that says that. Okay, but yeah, they crushed these lefties the last few that they've faced. It's impressive, but I think it's a little bit of smoke and waters, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Williamson pitched pretty well.
I think this could be the best bet on the board. I think that Pinnacle is inferring that it very much is the best bet on the board. This is also a spot TJ is on. This is also part of the Taint Play of the Day. Taint Play of the Day from Matty Ice is the Twins double result. Shout out to our guy, Matty Ice. Taint is in. -7% runs, -12% home runs, even for doubles and triples, and -4% singles. If we go to weather only here for targets, -7% runs, -6% homers, -2% doubles and triples, -5% singles. When I say that the books are inferring here that this is the best bet on the board, it is because of the price difference. Now, you could say the price difference is also based upon the fact that the Reds bullpen looks very good. 2.57 ERA, 1.29 whip, converted 7 to 9 save opportunities. Twins bullpen 5 ERA, 1.64 whip, but they have converted 5 to 6 save opportunities. But this is where it is here. The first 5. So I'm on first 5 -0.5 on the Twins. The Minnesota Twins at Penny are -165. First half, -189. 24 cents difference. That's more than a bullpen advantage. Don't bet this. So now the first 5s -0.5 is something where I'm trying to veer away from. We did cash our only one yesterday, but I'm on the Twins first 5 -0.5 here at -120. And I do, and Troy says Twins first 5 does look pretty fucking good. I think that at this point, the Twins first 5 -0.5. I guess maybe it's not the best bet on the board because it's the -0.5, but I think this is probably the best bet on the board. I mean, that's a 24-cent difference at Penny. I mean, that's just such a big difference. Let's compare it to 365, which I don't know what their difference is. I don't really care that much about what 365 difference is, but they have -170 for the full game, and then on the then the first 5. There's no difference. God, wild. So there's a 19-cent difference between the sharpest book offshore and 365 on the first 5. That's wild. That's wild. Yes, the Godfather line has moved to 8. Justin McKelvey, Twins -1.5 plus 128 in his pocket. So Twins first 5 -0.5 -120. I'm in and I'm out. Let's roll.
Let's roll on to the Astros versus the Cardinals in this game. A shorter line than I expected here, but we have old P. Lambert, it seems, on the bump for the Astros here. Now, let's see real quick. What is Pete Lambert, a.k.a. Pete Lambert, if he's from Canada?
He's not from Canada, but I did make that mistake. Remember the first time I...
Yes, I remember it vividly. That's why I call him Pete Lambert in my head all the time. He's pitched well in the minors so far. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 1 earned run, 3 2/3, 1 earned run. Is this Pete Lambert's opportunity to come to a new organization? He was with the Rockies, if you guys don't remember, and come to a new organization with the Astros that have a much, 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 much better pitching infrastructure and database that could potentially unlock him? I could see it, but I'm not going to be moving on a -135 here when I think it should be at least -150 for Pete Lambert versus Kyle Leahy, which Mr. Leahy does not inspire confidence whenever someone tries to back him here. I'll tell you that. His last appearance, 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, Boston, Detroit, New York Mets, which it's a good stretch of teams, but still 66% of the bets, 55% of the money on St. Louis, which is a little shocking to me. And this line has moved 5 cents down at Bet Online. -135 was a -140 opener. Bovada opened this -140, now down to -133.
So how much money is on the Cardinals?
There is, let me tell you again, 66 and 55 tickets and money.
So Lambert went to pitch for Yakult, the Swallows, and he was terrible. So he's come back. So it's unlike the other guys who come back as heroes. I don't know if he was, okay, I'll edit that. But
apparently the Swallows suck.
Well, but he was no good. 1.50 whip in Japan.
It's not what you want.
I mean, but that's the highest of any pitcher. I mean, all these pitchers that are coming back is pitching well. So that's why we didn't see him last year. look, Lambert's been trash, but he has had 3 starts in Sugarland, and he's looked very good in them. He's thrown 14 and 2/3. He's allowed 11 hits, 3 earned runs. So he's looked very good in them, which is a bit of a surprise. I think Kyle Leahy's the real deal. I think he's another guy like Steven Matz who wanted to start, pitched very well last year. He only got the 1 start near the end of the year, pitched in 62 games, was great, 3.07 ERA, 1.23 whip, then gets 2 opportunities to start. First one, he was a little amped up, maybe at home. Second one was at the Tigers, and he looked very good. Chris, I put it in the chat for you. I know you're driving, so I'll put it in the chat for you again. Here, so I wrote, hey, Chris, no worries. Twins first 5 minus half minus 120, and I wrote drive safe. So I'll put it in the chat here again for you, my man. Drive safe. And yes, oh, shit, sorry.
Don't bet and drive.
No, bet and drive. Bet doing everything. Bet and, well, okay, again, I'll edit myself. I like Leahy a lot, but I have no idea what the hell Lambert's going to do. Like, he was terrible in Japan. I mean, look, it's tricky to pitch over there, if you're not comfortable, if you're not happy, And then, he shoved. He looked great here in the 3 starts in Sugarland. So, and it's not easy to pitch in the Pacific Coast League, especially, midsummer. Here, there's a slight move towards the Cardinals. So then the question would be, you want to cut down the game because Cardinals don't hit very well, and you kind of want to stay away from both bullpens who are terrible. But again, you have a lineup that you fear with the Astros and you don't fear with the Cardinals, so maybe cut it down. So the price should be quite a bit different. So we have the Cardinals plus 116 full game, plus 115 first half. So maybe there's not much of a difference. I could get to Leahy, but I'm going to wait and see what the market looks like. So I have some interest in the Cards' first 5. It's probably too expensive to take plus a half. I'll wait on it. There's our guy Dutch Boy, fresh NBA playoff time for our guy Dutchy. He's locked in. He is locked in. Can't wait to watch him cook over the next couple months. Cards first 5 is a possibility here. Let's roll on, Jose.
Quickly, who do you anticipate being the NBA Finals if I had to make you pick gun to head?
Well, I mean, it's easy to say Thunder Celtics. It's it could be Nuggets Celtics. I want it to be Spurs Celtics.
We want it to be Spurs Celtics, real bad.
So I mean, like I need to really let's just wait and see if any of these 3 teams, the 3-headed monster in the West, if anybody gets hurt. Which could tip the scales.
If the Spurs make the NBA Finals, you won't find a happier pair of assholes than these 2 right here. You will not find anyone happier.
I do not want to think about it right now. It's
God, and we are, by the way, Jimmy, we are huge Timberwolves fans this week. Huge. Let's go and knock out Jokic. Come on, dog.
Ain't nobody done. Jokic is.
Whew. Yeah. We'll talk about the game 82.
There's our guy Chappie Funk in the house. What up, Chappie?
Oh, nice to see Chappie. Chappie, I need to text Chappie because I have a favor to ask of Chappie. So shout out to you, Chappie. But let's talk Dodgers Rockies here. Minus 300 almost at my book, at least. 295 for the Dodgers here. And God damn it, Jimmy, do I want to bet the Colorado Rockies here? This is a Rockies team that's not dead yet. They still have some fight. We have 70% of the bets, 69% of the money on the Dodgers here. Not a surprise here. And by the way, the Rockies are 7-12. Now, is that tied for the worst record in the National League? Yeah, but that's not a horrible record. They're at home. We can use some elevation to hopefully make us feel a little better. Tyler Glass now is a huge spin guy. And in elevation, the ball does not spin as much. Rockies were very interesting. And we are almost at the minus 300 fade territory. But the Rockies were very interesting for me, Jimmy. What did you think?
I felt the same way. So, but then, we got to speed up here, Jose. We got to speed up. It's my fault. But I felt the same way. So AM talking about how Sugano's very vulnerable towards left-handed hitters. And it just takes me right back to Spooner saying Vasquez is going to get lit up by a team that can put up 5 or 6 or 7, left-handed hitters. And, I don't think that Sugano's that bad against left-handed hitters, and this is the same thing I said about Vasquez. And last year, left-handed hitters hit 273 with an 822 OPS against them. But righties hit 280 with a 773 OPS. So the difference was 49 points, 0.4, 0.049 points on the OPS. And then this year, and this is why I related to Vasquez, this year he's been shutting down left-handed hitters. And I said that about Vasquez, and Spooner was like, sample size too small, and then, he was right, and I was wrong. Against left-handed hitters so far this year, and now he's pitching very well, and there's only been 29 at-bats for left-handed hitters, but they're hitting 138 with a 443 OPS. They're 4 for 29 with 2 singles, a double, and a homer. 1 RBI in 29 at-bats, 8 strikeouts. So it just takes me right back here. Rod Zwacky says, bet on Colorado on the run line versus good power teams averaging 1.25 or more homers. Colorado during the 2026 season, 6-0. Play today's Rockies plus 1.5 plus 155. So I want the under in this baseball game. I don't think, you talk about Glasnow's movement not helping. It's going to be 39 Fahrenheit. I mean, I just don't really see how they're going to dominate here. Now, when we go to
you said there was snow in the forecast like earlier in the day, right?
Well, yeah, we saw. I mean, AM and I had a different opinion just based on the sites we were looking at.
But yeah, the point is it's super cold, and Tyler Glasnow is already someone that doesn't he's not a control pitcher, and he's not going to be able to feel his fingers.
Oh, there's no snow anymore.
Okay. Well, at least
so the snow is going to happen right now, and then there's 0% precipitation from 6 on. So there won't be no snow during the game.
What is this total at right now?
It's been sitting at 9.5. It's just been sitting at 9.5 for too long.
Man. There's 65% of the bets on the under, 56% of the money on the over. It'd be Rockies are over for me here just because I don't believe these pitchers are going to be able to pitch in these conditions. But I looked at a Rockies team total just now, 3.5 plus 115. That's a sus sign to me. Personally, I'm probably going to have to end up staying off. Because again, plus money on a Rockies team total over 4 at home, I just don't think we're going to get that very often. I know it's the Dodgers, I get it, but Matt, I think it's a high scoring game. I think the Rockies could stay in it, but I'll stay off and just watch, and hopefully I can have the ball so back them tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to get involved here. Well, look at that. Moose Money says potentially breaking news: Padres to be sold for $3.9 billion to Jose Feliciano and the Clear Lake Group that's been running Chelsea FC.
Well, Moose, you're fucked.
$3.9 billion. Remember when the Dodgers went for $3 billion and we were astonished? God, we had the one market correction for 2 years during COVID, and then
that's when you gotta buy. That's why my parents bought a house during COVID. They were lucky. Here they go. Same thing. Buy a sports team.
We're going to need to speed up here, but yeah, I want the under. I don't know. It's just I've been hesitant to hit the button, but I think I should now. We're now seeing an actual move towards the under. So, but there was a bigger move. There had been a 15-cent move towards the under at 10 a.m. So there's been 5 cents of buyback, and I like Sugano, and that's getting in the way of my cap. I think a first 3 plus a half with a Colorado team that feels great about themselves and a Dodger team that's probably cold. Shout out to Guillermo Zertucci in the house, our guy G. Can't wait for sovereignty, journalism, White Barrio. So, yeah, I want the first 3 plus a half to back Sugano. And, but it's just very difficult to press the button. Look, it was so hard for me to press the button on the White Sox, and I lose. And 9-3 day, 9-2 if I don't bet that. 10-2 if they hold on to Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Trash.
I like these two spots. The under in the first 3 plus a half. The both bullpens are pitching really well. I think I can get there. But, I copy and paste all the notes from all you guys, and I was going over AM's thoughts on it, and so that's that. I care about what you guys have to say, and so I don't have the conviction at this point, but it's coming. It's building. So the under in the first 3 plus a half, I'm close to. I'm interested in. Let's roll on.
Padres, Angels. Speaking of them, here just got sold to a guy that owns Chelsea, and Chelsea is one of the most dysfunctional teams in the Premier League. So have fun again, Moose. It's 56% of the bets, 95% of the money on Soriano, who, like you said, Jimmy, has been pitching phenomenally here. But I have a soft spot for Matt Waldron in my heart. The knuckleballer, the last of the knuckleballers, throws hard as fuck for a knuckleballer too. I want to bet the Padres here. I think this line is sus. I think this line movement is sus. BOL, I'm going to refresh one more time here. They have minus 125 right now for the Los Angeles Angels, opened up minus 140. Bovada, since Troy likes that book a little bit, like minus 141 to minus 139. Heritage minus 135, minus 143 opener here. Maybe I wait and I see all the other books go to the minus 125, minus 130, but at minus 125, it is a must bet for the San Diego Padres, I believe. What do you think?
The line's insane. It's absolutely insane. The first 3 is now juiced. The first 3 under 2.5 is now juiced to the under. It was juiced to the over. So there's now been a 10-cent move since then, because I was like, why is it juiced to the over 2.5? Why are people backing Matt Waldron? When I look at Matt Waldron's statistics, this guy couldn't make the Padres in 2025. So he pitched for El Paso, and he had a 6.67 ERA and a 1.56 WHIP. He was terrible. So they give him 1 2/3 innings in the show last year. Then he goes to El Paso this year, and he is unhittable. 12 innings. He's allowed 7 hits. He walked 1 batter.
Which is ridiculous with the knuckleball, obviously.
Well, he's got it. He's figured something out. And we also have the 7-game winning streak switching cities, as Johnny Guns talked to us about, that I'd missed. This is, Soriano's been the best pitcher in baseball. So this line it's insane. They're telling us that, well, no, I shouldn't say it's insane. They're saying that, look, Waldron has it right now. He can't be touched. He didn't have it last year. So Trembolone, what drug is he on that's changed everything so drastically? Rod's Wax says bet against Jose Soriano on the run line is a favorite, minus 125 to minus 175. Soriano's team record since 2025 season, 0-8. So he's on the Padres minus 1.5 at plus 195. Jim Dewigger says Angels played in New York, no day off. Give me the Padres money line.
Padres plus 110 for me.
I mean, this is just insane. And so I guess now I can bet the first 3 under 2.5 because it's now juiced to the under. The full game total here has gone.
The obvious worry is that opened up there for a reason. That's the only. But I don't know how first threes more than I do.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
Angels bullpen is taxed. The Godfather is saying, I'm glad I'm on a full game. I definitely have a double bullpen advantage, even if they're taxed. I'd give me the Padres bullpen obviously all day. And like I said, just give me 5 innings, Waldron. Give me 6 innings if that'd be great. 5 innings would be fantastic of knuckleball nonsense. I'll take that all day.
Well, he's obviously going to shove today. He's going to shove. We got to speed this show up. It's going way too long. So I got. God, you start succeeding in baseball and you just want to sit with these games for hours. The Angels minus 132 at Penny full game. They're minus 159 first 5.
The Angels?
Yeah.
That's the Jose Soriano respect. I mean, is the Angels bullpen and the Padres bullpen difference 20 cents? I mean, I understand, but I will take that difference. I will. If you're an Angels backer, you take them first 5. You think the Padres are going to win this? Take a full game.
I can't go up against this 7-game winning streak switching city, so I can't be on the Padres for you. But they're saying that the Padres are going to have their late game magic in this one. And so you could bet the first 3 under 2.5. I wanted the first 3 under 2.5 in the Angels first 5 the whole time. Now it's moved towards the under, which I'm thankful for. I imagine it was first 3 over 2.5 because they looked at Waldron's numbers over the last little while and they're like, the guy's going to get lit up and smoked. So
would it make you feel better if they're on an 8-game winning streak instead of 7?
It's a 7+. So yeah. Okay, so I think that I just stick with that original plan here. That price difference for the Angels first 5 is massive. So I think I just...
Robert Gasser for the Brew Crews, B-Hawk is saying.
Oh, thank you, B-Hawk. Thank you, my man. Thank you, B-Hawk. B-Hawk, jump on the NHL pool with us, man. We need you in the anytime NHL pool. Go get that cash raiser. Good luck, my man. Troy leaning towards the under here. Wine time says money will come in the Padres closer to game time. Let's roll on. But I do think I move now. Yes, it's a very suspect. They're telling us the Padres are going to take care of business, but I'll take the first 3 under 2.5 and the Angels first 5. Let's roll.
Next,
but I'm going to have to take a -0.5, so I'm going to weigh the pros and cons of all that. Sorry, Jose. Let's roll.
White Sox, A's, Davis Martin, Aaron Savali, -149 is now -155 now. We have, I've got to find this quicker. 60% of the bets and 55% of the money on Savali. I had no interest in this game. I don't like Savali. I don't like Davis Martin. No, thank you. Pass.
I couldn't find an edge in this game. You could make a realistic breakdowns as to why you want Davis Martin. Realistic breakdowns as why you want Aaron Savali. We have Sutter Health Park not playing like we're used to. Not very offensive conditions here. 0%. Is this weather only? No, combined. So it's 0% here. Runs -1%. Homers -7%. Doubles, triples, and +4% singles. We can just move past this one. Spooner like in the White Sox. It really, really hurt yesterday. It really hurt. It really stung when they let that go. And I like Davis Martin. Davis Martin's pitching very well. So is Savali, and we don't know how long that's going to last. There's been a 13-cent move towards the over. I'm off for this game, and comfortably off. It's a tricky one. Comfortably off. Let's roll on.
Rangers Mariners next on our slate here. Fun matchup in this division. I think this division is going to be bangers all year. And this is a very interesting market in this game. 71% of the bets and 87% of the money on Jacob deGrom and the road team Rangers in this game. With both of these pitchers on the bump, Gilbert on the other side. 89% of the bets, 93% of the money on the under in this game. 6.5. What we have here, -115 to the over at BetOnline is now -110 each way. Bovada showing -115 to the under. It was -115 to the over here. Some places like Bookmaker has -117 to the under here as well. What do you think about this banger pitching matchup?
I've tripled up on the spot.
Gee.
Yeah, I've tripled up on the spot. And one thing, I used to be a really heavy zigzag, but it's not like they just met each other. These pitchers just faced each other on April 6th, but that was 11 days ago. So they each had a start since then, and DeGrom was spectacular, and and so was Logan Gilbert. Shout out to Jacqueline in the house. Great to see you, Jacqueline. And AM says might move on this over. 6.5 is too low. I love that it opened up at 6.5. I mean, imagine with all the money on the under at 6.5. Imagine if it was 7. I don't think but I can understand the thought process there. Now this is actually a run suppressing situation. This is the only legitimate one here. -21% runs, -18% homers, -25% doubles and triples, -7% singles. If it's weather only here, it's not quite as bad. -12% runs, -19% homers, -10% doubles and triples, and -1% singles. So a couple things here. I'm on the under 6.5 -105. and I'm on the first 3 under 1.5 plus 105. My first 3 under 1.5s are hitting. They always have hit a very high ROI, and the under 6.5 is very expensive. It was a 2-1 game when they just met, and this is tougher conditions to score here, and of course it's opening at a very low number, which is what I wanted. I wanted this to open up at 6.5. And I likened it to, if we were at the horse track, we're at a small horse track. Let's say we're at, Hastings closed down. Let's say we're at Hastings and I've got $30,000 I want to put on a horse to win. I bet it right when it opens up so that everybody sees the 1-9. So maybe they won't bet it as much if they see the 1-9. When we go to the first 3 under here, now it was very expensive first 3 under, and I still bet it. Still not moved, plus 105. I'm on the Mariners. The idea that 71% of tickets and 87% of cash should be on Jake DeGrom makes sense to me. And this line's moving towards the Mariners. It's moving toward. Oh, C-Boz, I got you, man. I got you. It's great to have you rocking with us, man. You're OG. You're OG. Philly Eagle Flyer. Okay, well, let us know how we can help make sure that you're all looked after. But the C-Boz. Let's go, Chad. Let's get it. So here, the Mariners are clearly sharp action to me. Who is going to fade DeGrom right now? Logan Gilbert's last start was at home versus the Astros. He was lights out, absolutely lights out. I think he does it again. And, 8.7 of every $10 is coming in on the Texas Rangers, of course, because Jake DeGrom's shoving. And this line's moving towards the Mariners. You can get Jake DeGrom plus money. This is just too nice for me. So under 6.5, first 3 under 1.5. Mariners money line. Rod Dweck says bet under the total. Logan Gilbert starts at home with a money line of minus 100 to minus 150 on this record since 2024 season 12-1. Billy Friedrich says I may bet Gilbert for Cy Young future. Wow, you get a huge number on that. Let's roll on, Jose. Let's roll on. I've tripled up on the spot. Mariners first 3 under 1.5, full game under 6.5. Cannot wait to watch this baseball game. Let's roll.
Last game, Blue Jays, Arizona Diamondbacks here. We've got Eric Lauer, who we just talked about earlier, versus Mike Soroka. This opened up minus 149 and is now down to minus 130 here. 64% of the bets on Arizona, 65% of the money on the Blue Jays here. Pretty surprised how high it opened up here, but it's Blue Jays or nothing for me in this game so far. What do you think?
Well, the line move towards Eric Lauer is legit, and the roof's going to be open 6 to 7 mile per hour winds. It's not a big deal. The roof will be open tonight. Will be open tomorrow. Will be closed on Sunday for you guys for your weekend preparation. This line is moved towards the under, and it's moved towards Lauer. And my initial thought was to move on the over and to move on the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are destroying lefties right now. Well, they're not a ton of power, 287.47. Curtis Berry on Toronto plus 115. That is the sharp side, Curtis. There's no doubt about that. Leroy Flood's on the Diamondbacks money line. That's where my X's nose took me. And you put all that together, and I stay off of the spot. Rod's Wacker says bet on Dan Wilson, the home games on the money line against division opponents. Wilson's record as manager of Seattle, 30-7. So the angles are really helping me here. In this game with Rod in the Seattle game. Bet under the total. Logan Gilbert starts at home when the total's less 7 or less on his record 24-7. So I'm off of this spot. It just doesn't fit. Lauer has not looked very good to start the year. Lauer was simply spectacular last year. He's coming off allowing 7 earned runs at home versus the Twins because the Twins were jacking lefties, and now Arizona's jacking lefties. So the Godfather talking about Soroka at home, and again, even that one, Godfather, I wasn't sure how to place that. Soroka played for Washington. Chicago. This is his first year in Arizona. Not to say he won't be lights out in Arizona, but the sample size here in 2 starts. Now they're Tigers and Braves. Not bad sticks he was going up against. But I'm off the spot. But to me, it's clear that the under and the Jays are the sharp action. And my X's and O's had me really interested in the over and the Diamondbacks. So I'm off the spot. Let's review Major League Baseball here. We got to move very quickly through NBA. Major League Baseball for Friday, April 17th. Cubbies minus 134. Guardians minus 137. Nationals first 5 plus a half at minus 115. Marlins minus 112. Detroit, Boston first 3 under 2.5 at minus 135. Detroit, Boston under 8.5 at minus 120. Twins first 5 minus half at minus 120. Texas, Seattle first 300. And I think that Twins first 5 minus half is best bet on board. Texas, Seattle, but minus a halves aren't best bets. That's the only problem. But certainly certainly feels like it's the spot. Texas, Seattle, first three under 1.5 plus 105. Texas, Seattle, full game under 6.5 minus 105. Oh, sorry, the first three under 1.5 was plus 105. Under 6.5 is minus 105. And the Mariners money line minus 125. Shout out to our guy Saturated in the house. Maddie, I miss capping with you, man. I'm going to reach out. We need more Saturated in our lives. So we'll go over Jose's action, but I just want to talk about some additions here for me. The additions, I still am going to want this market in the Braves-Phillies game to marinate. And then the Royals and the first three under 2.5 for Royals, Yankees, and the first 5 plus half for the Royals, I'm very interested in. Secondly, the Cards first 5 with Leahy going up against Lambert. Need to study that a little bit more. Then the under in Dodgers Rockies, which I'm hesitant. And then the first 3 plus a half for the Rockies. That's a nice plus money spot. First 3 under 2.5 in Padres Angels, and still moving on the Angels first 5. I'm going to have to take a minus a half, and the market's implying that Waldron's going to carry on from what he's been doing in AAA, where he's been unhittable after being terrible last year. It's very interesting. And then that's my additions. Jose, please review your action here for Friday, April 17th.
Yep, nice and easy. Red Sox money line. I got minus 125 and Padres plus 110 money line. That's it for me.
And Spooner saying that he would be on the Astros if he could get that line. But that would be a full game look on the Astros. You know, you want to attack that Cards bullpen. I'm a Leahy guy. I believe in Kyle Leahy. I think he's going to have a good season. I think he's going to be a good pitcher. So, and Lambert has looked good in AAA. He looked terrible for the Swallows. Let's move on to NBA. Jose, we got to be tight here. Let's roll.
Yep, 2 playing games. Hornets Magic. We all kind of know what Jimmy's action is. Well, a lot of Jimmy's action is on this game, but 50-50 ticket splits and money. 51% of the money on Charlotte. Line has moved from a 2, I believe, to a 3.5 is what I think I just saw. So let me double check.
Sort of, like the 2.5s were at like FanDuel, like 2.5s weren't in the offshores. So Spooner got in on a 2.5, but it wasn't in the offshores. And then it got to a 3.5. It opened at 3.5 at the offshores, and it's moved a half point towards Orlando. Keep rolling, Jose.
Yeah, no, that's it. 3.5 is now what we're seeing. Jimmy, take it away.
So look at Justin on Magic plus 3.5. And he's the first person I've seen, and now Johnny K's on the Magic. I mean, you're just not seeing. You're seeing everybody on Charlotte, and why wouldn't you? Now you could say, why wouldn't you? I mean, look, Charlotte hasn't been in the playoffs since 2016. This is a group of players that haven't been there and done that. They haven't succeeded in the playoffs. So, Kobe White hit that 3 with 10.8 seconds left. It was spectacular. Look at all the things that had to come into place. Even in overtime when Charlotte had a 5-point lead with 26 seconds left, that was fell apart. So Charlotte hasn't proved it, but the Magic have been so much worse than we expected them to be. I mean, last year, Banchero and Suggs missed 83 games. So this year, I know the Wagners were both hurt for a lot of the year, but, they only won 4 more games with Desmond Bain lights out in the second half of the year. And then what the hell's Banchero doing? We thought Banchero was going to be a monster, number 1 overall pick. Look, he didn't make the All-Star team. He went 7-22 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. He scored 18 points with 6 turnovers. He was a minus 17 on the floor. This is the most important game of Banchero's career. He's got to step up here for his team. And we just have a Magic team that's starting to shoot like they did last year, terribly. Back-to-back games where they shoot under 41%. They hadn't done that since January 24th to 26th. So I think the best bet on the board here is Operation Garcia. You got 9 players on each team. It works. This total's not moving. It went from 218.5 to 218 back to 218.5. But you get 9 players on each team. Need some outlier performances. Need Banchero to step up. So, and Stephen Fehrenbach says, I can't imagine risking hard-earned money on this dysfunctional Magic team. I hear that, and listen, until we saw Johnny K and Justin, it was only people saying Hornets. So I have this future that I know is going to lose on the Hornets, but I'm invested heavily in Operation Garcia in this game, heavily. And that's where I want to be. I think the Hornets are a better team than Charlotte. Should the Hornets be a road favorite against the Magic? Sorry, I think the Hornets are a better team than the Magic. But should they be a road favorite in the 8th seed game? I don't know if they should be. They're the better team. You know. And Justin says, I know it's not the script, but I'm leaving Banchero under off tonight. Look, Justin, again, like that, it screwed me when I've done those certain things, but you believe that Banchero is going to go off. And for the sake of Operation Garcia, I hope he does. I hope he goes for 50 and that you nailed it because it will help me as well. So I'll be cheering for you. Nate says Hornet smash. I think the Magic is the sharp side here. There's no doubt about that. And when you see how many tickets are on there, you're like, where are these people? I don't see anyone on Magic until now. So Johnny K says public has a huge bias. It's always a huge bias. Always. In the playing games, the teams that lose the first two games are always faded by the public. The teams that win the first two games are always backed by the public. But we're not quite seeing that here, according to Odds Logic, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. And Dutch Boy says can't throw a 3 in the fucking ocean. He's absolutely right. I mean, this team is shooting terribly, the Magic. But I have invested heavily in this game. Comfortable with my investment. I want the Hornets to win. I think they're the better basketball team. But I'm off a side here. And because I'm on the under, the Operation Garcia, it's basically betting the under. And Dutch says there's levels to this, and I agree. But
oh boy,
how did the Hornets not take care of business?
Breaking news.
Oh.
Our long national nightmare is over.
Thank you.
All right.
Now, what about Rutherford? Was it just Alvin?
Rem, give us the news, Rem.
I need Rutherford out too. Fire Rutherford. But that's great news, Rem. Thank you. I don't understand how the Hornets couldn't take out a Heat team without Bam. A bad Heat team without Bam. And they needed the luck of the basketball gods to get through that. I mean, look, I think they're the better team than Orlando. And I'll be cheering for you guys. Aloha Eastside Rolla says Orlando hasn't looked good all season. Hornets root these guys. That's clearly the underlying theme here from all gamblers until you look at Odds Logic. All we've heard is Hornets. I mean, obviously it's a buy low spot on Orlando, but it's not really a sell high spot on Charlotte because they didn't look good. So let's roll on to the final spot, Jose.
All right, last spot on the board, Warriors Suns. Man, Draymond Green and Steph Curry looked really good out there. I'm not going to lie. That two-man game, Draymond Green hurt, putting Kawhi Leonard in damn shackles in the last minute of the game. Really impressive stuff by Draymond Green and the Warriors there.
Incredible. He was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, I mean, can you do it again against a Phoenix Suns team that is, I think, pretty clearly better than the Clippers? 3.5 is now a 3 actually at Bet Online. That was a 3 opener there, but 3.5 everywhere else. Bovada, Bookmaker, MyBookie, etc. On that. As for this game, there's 64% of the bets and 61% of the money on Golden State. I don't know. It feels like clock is about to strike midnight on the Warriors, but what do you think?
Well, first off, I understand why people would be very encouraged by what they saw from the Warriors because the Warriors looked unbelievable, and here Dutch says the answer is Melo. He says if he doesn't play like complete ass down the stretch, win by double digits. That's totally legitimate. So here, Chosen One is the first, and Wine Time are the first guys I've seen on Suns. It's just been all Warriors one-way traffic. There has been no team, no 7 seed that has lost consecutive games and not made the playoffs since this was introduced in 2021. Booker needs to step up. This contract's gonna be a weight around the Hornets' neck. He didn't look very good. He seems like he's aging. Avdia completely outplayed him. 7 of 17 from the field, over 2 for 3, but Jalen Green went off here. So we don't know if Grayson Allen's going to play, and that is a problem. By the way, the Diabate hip injury is a concern for us. We need him in there. Need him desperately in there for Operation Garcia. They'll screw us. Here we have Porzingis questionable, and Williams and Grayson Allen questionable. We need to know for Operation Garcia. I need to know. I'm gonna wait. We need confirmation here. Ott says that there's a good chance that Grayson can play, but we need to see it. I can't really believe that Curry. Look, Curry went 7 to 12 from 3, 12 from 23 from the field, 35 points, 36 minutes. He's absolutely incredible. Like, I'm not going to doubt Steph. But Zingas went for 20. Santos went for 20. Zingas and Santos went 20 to 35 from the field. Al Horford went 4 for 7 from 3 and monster threes. Absolutely monster threes. Pods put up 17. I mean, are we really going to expect them to all deliver like that? And here we talked about how the market was telling us that we have, action, real magic action being bet, 51 and 52%. Here it's 64 and 61 on the Warriors, and this line has moved 5 cents towards Phoenix, like at circa from 3 to minus 110, minus 115, with 61% picks and 89% cash on the Warriors. Now, I lost on the Warriors. I bet the Clippers minus 5.5, and obviously my subconscious saying, don't do that again. But I'm going to. I'm going to bet that the Suns, as a 7 seed who don't need to travel, and the Warriors coming off, one could say, an outlier performance, that they're not going to do it again. And obviously Steph is capable. We did right off the top, Steve. We did right off the top because I knew time was going to be a factor. We did right off the top. And I think take a look at what you think. Because I think it's by far the best bet I've seen in a long time is the Dallas, Minnesota over 6, using the -1 calculator to create a 6. So
in the series, right?
In the series over 6, like now we could push, but it's just absolutely spectacular. I think it's just phenomenal. And I also don't think our edges are before the playoffs start. We're going to be betting futures in the playoff series, as we always do, during the series. So, and please sign up for the hockey pool. Please, please, please. Lois Irola says, we have the more experienced team. We have the best player on the floor. Let's take Curry with over a possession. That is all legitimate. That's all fair. Like, I'm not going to, what can I say about that? It's just that we've never seen a team lose these 2 games. And I'm not going to say that it's never going to happen. But the public's on the Warriors. This line's not moving towards the Warriors. Everybody saw the Warriors just play spectacularly well. And Rem Mo says, why not play a little on the series ending in 6 to cover the push? That's a great idea, Rem. It's what this show's all about. It's you guys, man. This is chat. It's the chat that makes this special. That's a great idea, Rem. I'm going to copy and paste that. So here, I've got to wait for Operation Garcia. And, we could get hurt by this Diabate news. So we got to wait. And then I'm going to be contrarian here and stick with the angles that I believe are legitimate. And that's that the Suns have an enormous advantage not traveling and being at home for both these games. And they were up 11 with 8 minutes left, 9 minutes, 7 minutes left. Booker knows he was outplayed. Booker only took 2 threes. I mean, you got to think Booker puts up 7 or 8 threes here. I mean, is he going to go out like this? I don't see how he could go out like this. Markel says, love the Suns here. So we're starting to see some Suns love. And look, Chappie says, this is the old Warriors' last chance, man. They give it their all. Oh, they'll give it their all. Look, I don't want to say negative things about what they've done since Butler's injury and, what Steve Kerr has done. I respect it very much. And it was a phenomenal performance against the Clippers, beyond my comprehension. The 3 after 3, Horford hitting the threes, Zingas, hitting threes, Curry getting them all going. Like, I was very impressed, and I don't believe it's going to happen again here. So, all right, Matty, dope. Wise Guys downtown, man. That's Salt Lake City. That's dope, Steve. I never got to play that club. That's dope, man. So for me, I'm going to be on the Suns. Now, if this moves to a 2.5 or a 2, I would be more hesitant. Dutch says this Suns team overachieved. Dogs covered 4 straight meetings. Warriors 4-1 last 5. 77 total from Book, Brooks, Green, and lose home to P-Town. Suns are a fade. Look, I get it. And, every year we're in the situation where the teams that win the first 2 games are, backed by the public. And I get why. I don't want to go against it with the Magic, but I'm going to go against it with the Suns. And I can understand the other side of this. I'm not sitting here saying, tail the Suns. The Suns are going to. I'm not coming in here guns a-blazing. I just think that we're asking for too much. We're asking for too much for the Warriors to put up that magical display again. So, there we go. Dougie White says both favorites win. And look, listen to Dutch. I mean, he's locked in, and shout out to Dutch. Shout out to the sesh. Shout out to all you guys for rocking with us. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. We do. Dougie Wise, Markel, Dutch Boy Fresh, Daniel Hernandez, Steve Fehrenbach, Wine at Time Sports, Johnny K, Markel, Philly Eagle Flyer, The Godfather, Chappie Funk, Rem Most, Aloha, Isai Rolla. Thank you guys so much. Crip Key, Robert Franklin, Barry Smith. Barry Smith, Reds money line for Barry Smith. Nice to see you, Barry. Barry, who you got in NHL tonight? Thank you guys. Chang, Kim. Thank you guys, man. And Barry Smith says, Queen, get the money. Queens, get the money. Says Angels, alt, run line, Giants, run line, Brewers, money line, Blues. Oh, Blues, run line, Avs, run line yesterday. Nice job. Nice job. Got you $2,000. Great. Oh, so that's yesterday's action. Great job, Barry. Great job. Copy and paste all of this. Robert Franklin, all you guys. Matty Ice, Taint Play Today is in. Oh, let's go over that. Let's go over the action here from our cappers in the chat. Taint or Stacks Play Today number 1, Cubs Mets over 10.5. Stacks Play Today number 2, Braves Phillies over 9.5. Slatsy's on the Habs plus 1.5 games at minus 105 versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Dougie Wise, free bands play today. Hornets minus 2. Just by 2 cents. TC's play today. Yankees, Red Sox money line parlay plus 176. And Taint, sweet Taint is Twins double result. Jose, great work this week. Have a lot of fun here with our guy Wine Time Sports. Wine Time Sports. He will be hosting the nightly bag tonight, and you're in great company with my guy Wine Time Sports. King U, thank you, you guys. C-Boss, thank you. I'm getting more comfortable with this 10 a.m., 10 p.m. Slot, and I didn't get the baseball season off to a good start. We're 17-8 over the last 2 days. I can't even explain how important it is for me right now with the struggle to start the year and the bankroll not where I want it to be. I can't get the NHL futures until the Stanley Cup is awarded, as you guys know, because I put them all in with my local on credit, and that's his deal. You have to wait till the championship is over. We need to succeed, and you guys are leading us. You guys, the chat is leading us. Let's go get this money. Jose, please bless our action. Thank you for all your hard work and lead us into the future.
Yep. Shout out to you guys all in the chat. It's a nice day, loaded day, I should say, when we have a 2-hour show here. So shout out to you guys here. Dutch, Godfather, Kingu, Wine Time joining us, Stevie Fehrenbach, Kelly McInnes up in this bitch. We have all of us, Philly Eagle Flyer, Remos.
And thank you to Kristen Hess. Not only signing up for a hockey pool, but the $20 dono to bless our action. And to all of you that have signed up for the hockey pool, thank you, because it's the only way we can keep doing it. And we got the $500 bonus from Harbor Acres. So thank you guys. Please sign up for the NHL pool if you can. It means a ton to us. Thank you.
Yep. Playing in the confidence pools, the playoff pools, donating to the channel, becoming a member, all helps out the channel keep rocking and rolling, guys. So shout out to you guys. We'll see you guys later tonight. And let's go. A Los bookmaker.
3 straight winning days. We need it. The NHL regular season comes to an end this Thursday, April 16th. But the excitement is just beginning, because now is the time for our Pub Sports Radio NHL playoff pool. And this year, Salty Pete and the great people at Harbor Acres Cottages are adding a $500 salty bonus to our champion. That money does not go into our prize pool. It is a bonus on top of the prize pool sent directly to our winner. It is $100 to sign up. $4 is taken to cover costs. $96 goes into our prize pool. And as always, the top 10% get paid. All you have to do is put together a roster of 20 players from the 16 NHL playoff teams. You get 1 point for a goal, 1 point for an assist, and the capper who accumulates the most points over the Stanley Cup playoffs is our winner. Picks must be in by this Saturday, April 18th. The puck drop to our very first NHL playoff game. Do you have what it takes? The Stanley Cup is up for grabs. The salty bonus is up for grabs. Do you have what it takes to take out last year's champion? Me! Sign up now at pupsportsradio.com and get that cash.